UFC 305 is right around the corner on Saturday, August 17th, in Perth, Western Australia, in the RAC Arena. The two fighters that are headlining this main event is the current middleweight champion Dricus Still Knox du Plessis versus the number 2 middleweight contender Israel the Last Stylebender Adesanya. Now, I did make a video on why I think Israel Adesanya is going to beat Dricus du Plessis, so I'm going to leave the link for that video in the description, and I'm going to just break down the first fight on the main card till the co-main event. So kicking the main card off with the Leech Li Jingliang versus Carlo Prates. Li Jingliang is a tough guy. He's very scrappy, very brawly, and he's tough to put away. And I don't know if Li Jingliang is going to have ring rust. Let me tell you why. Because he hasn't fought in 2 years. His last fight was against Daniel Rodriguez in 2022, which he lost via decision. And if I'm not mistaken, Carlos Prates has fought twice this year. He's been way more active. Li Jingliang is definitely not the caliber striker of Carlos Prates, but he has a lot of heart. Li Jingliang is going to have to wrestle. He's not even primarily a wrestler, like he's not known really for wrestling, but that's going to be his only way to win. Because Carlos Prates is a very long and rangy fighter. He has the reach advantage, and he also uses his kicks, like teeps and knees, and he looks really good. So I'm going to say Carlos Prates by decision or TKO. I'm going to lead more towards decision because, like I said, Li Jingliang is very tough and he's hard to put away. Next up, we're moving to the heavyweight division. We got Tai Tuivasa versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Tai Tuivasa is riding a 4-fight losing streak. Guys like Cyril Gane, Alexander Volkov, and Sergey Pavlovich. Tai Tuivasa is also a brawler and a pretty decent boxer. He is open to counter strikes, and someone like Rozenstruik, I can see can definitely counter-strike him because Rozenstruik is the better kickboxer slash striker, and if they do get into a brawl, that just favors Rozenstruik as he can catch him with a counter-strike. Most Tai Tuivasa fights do end up being finishes, whether it's him finishing someone or him getting finished, but I don't know if this is going to be a decision or a TKO win, because if it does go to decision, it favors Rozenstruik. If it goes to finish, it could go to Tuivasa, but it also could go to Rozenstruik. So I think Rozenstruik has many more ways to win. So that's why I'm going to choose him winning by decision or maybe even TKO. Alright, we're going down a couple weight classes to the lightweight division where we're going to see Mateusz Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. Now, if Gamrot wants to win, he's going to need to pressure Dan Hooker against the fence and obviously wrestle. Once he gets a hold of Dan Hooker, he's going to need to control him and make it ugly. Gamrot is coming over a 3-fight win streak, which means he has a lot of momentum going into this. And let's say, just for the sake of the argument, if Gamrot can't take him down, which I think he can, he has a good chin. He has a good chin. I think he's eaten many shots from people like Dariush and other guys. But the next guy he's going to have to worry about is Dan Hooker. If Dan Hooker wants to win, he's going to need to strike with him. He's going to need to keep him at bay and find his rhythm. Dan Hooker is the better striker, and whenever Gamrot pressures him and goes for a takedown, he's going to need to bring back that lead knee and try to catch him. Dan Hooker is going to need a point fight. He shouldn't go for the finish, he shouldn't try to wrestle, but he should just outstrike him and outpoint him. He needs to defend the takedowns and counter. But I do think this fight favors Mateusz Gamrot, so I'm going to go Gamrot by decision. Next up is the co-main event, which is the last fight I'm going to be breaking down because I already broke Dricus vs Izzy on the channel, so check it out, link in description. So we have Kai Kara-France vs Steve Erceg. Kai Kara-France is coming off a 2-fight losing streak, which one of them is to Amir Albazi, which is a pretty bad robbery. But putting that fight aside, he's going to have to face Steve Erceg, which he's going to need to push the pace. He is the better striker, so I want him to strike with Erceg. And he does actually have power. We don't see too much flyweights with a lot of power, but Kai Kara-France is one of them. And if Steve Erceg does try to wrestle, he does have good defensive wrestling, which is obviously great to have. Now moving on to Steve Erceg, he does have good striking, but I do think Kai Kara-France's striking is a little bit better. He is the better wrestler slash grappler, and should try making it ugly like he did in the Pantoja fight. But I'm not gonna lie, in his last fight against Alexandre Pantoja, he kinda showed a lack of fight IQ by trying to take him down in the last minute when he was arguably winning. I think Steve Erceg has more heart and can outwork Kai Kara-France. To be honest, I can see both of them winning. I can see Kai Kara-France winning. I could see Steve Erceg winning. So if you are going to bet, don't listen to this because I'm not certain. but I'm gonna give the slight edge to Steve Erceg by decision. I appreciate you guys watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you guys think. The Discord server is in the link in description, so as the DDP versus Izzy video, and I'll see y'all next time. Spaz out.